Messed up when I realized that my mute button wasn't turned off during a 2-hour meeting with stakeholders.
This happened 2 hours ago, and I am still hiding under my blanket. I was in a massive all-hands meeting, about 40 people for a project launch. Usually I keep my mic hard muted on my headset, but today I was eating lunch, so I was double muted software mute plus headset mute. Or so I thought. About 45 minutes in, the project manager was explaining a delay in the timeline. I think I was safe in my cocoon of silence, let out a very loud, very deep sigh and muttered, "Oh my god, just get to the point, nobody cares." The audio didn't just pick it up. Because of the way Teams/Zoom prioritizes active speakers, my face popped up on the main screen for a split second. The silence was deafening. The PM paused for a solid 5 seconds. Nobody said anything. He just continued. I slowly reached up and tapped my headset. It beeped. Mute on. It had been off the whole time. I have not checked my Slack messages. I am considering faking my own death and moving to a farm. TLDR, thought I was double muted during a major stakeholder meeting, accidentally sighed and told the PM to get to the point in front of 40 people. Now I am afraid to open Slack. I was on one with about 300 people I work with, and someone said out loud, unmuted, "Hang on, I gotta get on this fucking pointless Zoom call." I felt bad since I agreed. Same with ops situation. I had someone pee very loudly into a toilet and then flush before she realized she wasn't on mute. She immediately logged off, ha ha ha. I was in a meeting a few weeks ago for my company's yearly benefit webinar where they try unsuccessfully to peddle how great red, shitty our self-funded insurance is. About halfway through, someone must have accidentally gotten unmuted as they yelled to their partner, "I can't right now. I'm in this meeting about our shitty insurance." The silence afterward was deafening. The person from the insurance company carried on by saying, "Well, thanks for that." As far as I'm aware, the person still works at the company. Had someone with an unmuted mic on a very high severity incident call with probably 40 people in it, including senior leadership, and his girlfriend started shouting presumably at him in the background, "What are you doing? Stop manipulating me," and then she got another thing off in a similar vein before the guy muted his mic. Always wondered if that guy was doing okay. I was in a company meeting on my day off and very carefully checked to make sure I was muted. I was. Automatically by Zoom when I joined. What I didn't know was that when I got in my car and the meeting changed from my headset to the car audio and from the Zoom phone app to the Zoom CarPlay app, it automatically unmutes you. Because of course it does. Because isn't that what any sensible person would want to happen? So I head off and get onto the freeway and am tooling along in the right lane, about to exit, when someone decides to merge directly into the side of my car. I swerve onto the shoulder and he still scrapes me even so and yell, "What the fuck, dude?" And there's dead silence. And then the head of engineering says, "Well, I didn't think it would be that controversial." Sigh. My work had an all-hands call with the division head last month, and in the middle of him talking, someone who wasn't muted or paying attention to the call started dropping F-bombs. Like they were complaining to a coworker about something unrelated, and at least somebody gets to take their fucking vacation. Got broadcast to hundreds of employees across 6 states. A coworker joined our daily stand-up from his car. Midway through the call, out of nowhere, he shouted, "Are you gonna let me fucking go or what?" He thought he was muted. He was yelling at another driver who apparently wouldn't let him into traffic. If it makes you feel better, I was once in a very long virtual software training in which the trainers could answer no questions. I had muted myself after making a question. The person gave a non-answer, and I loudly said, "Oh my God, that's not what I asked." And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I died immediately and learned they had unmuted me themselves, so they learned a valuable lesson to not do that. I apologized profusely and they said they understood, but people still talk about it 5 years later. I'll join in with my most embarrassing "thought I was muted" moment. Had a guest speaker from uni on a Zoom call speaking about mental health and suicide rates. We were told ahead of time if anything is triggering for us, we can leave the call or not even join. The night before, I had my ex I had recently broken up with threatened to hang himself out the front of my house, and my mom called me the morning of this Zoom call meeting to check on me to make sure I was okay. I had the Zoom going in the background and I was talking to my mom, and I hear, "OP, not sure if you're aware, but your mic is on. And if this topic's triggering at all, you can always leave the call," and my heart dropped. I was so embarrassed I left the call straight away and emailed my lecturer later to apologize. A woman at work was on a big call with vendors and customers, over 150 plus people in the meeting at the tanning salon. Laptop on the floor, camera on, completely naked. She quit less than a week later. I had someone on a Zoom loudly vomit into a toilet, gasping between chunders, panting and exclaiming, "Oh God," on a fairly serious technical call which was costing their company millions. can always be worse. Many years ago, I worked in a call center that had just opened up in my hometown. One night, a few of us mid-tier supervisors were on a conference call with supervisors at the main office in another city. We were in a very small room with a phone unit and speakerphone in the middle of the table, which then had corded mini speakers coming from the main unit like the tentacles of an octopus. We'd all listen to a call, then discuss it with the supervisors in the main office to be sure we were all on the same page regarding representative quality, etc. Between listening to calls, my supervisor would reach over and hit mute on the main console. Red light would go on and we'd feel free to talk, chat, gossip, joke. Well, my supervisor starts telling us the goods on why our call center opened. She said that the home office was a union workplace, but it was, in her words, a complete S-hole. She said the workers were lazy, many were drug addicts, people would simply show up when they felt like it, quality was through the floor, that they were paid a lot of money, but the company was closing down that office and was going to transfer everything to us because we were non-union and therefore less expensive and easier to fire, etc., etc., etc. As the night wore on, the supervisors on the other line gradually went from professional, courteous, warm to slightly cold, tense, monosyllabic. An air of hostility began to permeate through the line, and our supervisors started mouthing to us, "Can they hear us?" After the call ended, we were talking about how weirdly awkward and hostile that call seemed, and someone happened to look at the speakerphone unit and noticed that although the main console showed red muted, our individual mics still showed green. Turned out they had just spent like 4 hours listening to our boss thoroughly destroy their workplace and leak the news they were all being fired and their call center being shut down. Dough. This made me think of a time when I was in an all-hands meeting during COVID and somebody forgot to turn their camera off and was fully nude laying on their bed eating crisps. Everyone in the chat were like, why is there a naked man on camera? This went on for a good 3 mins, and I've never seen someone move so quick to turn it off. He either saw the messages or someone had messaged his actual phone to be like, bro, your camera's on. I have no idea who it was or what happened to him, but it still makes me chuckle 5 years later. So, I didn't know that when you share your computer screen, the person can still see you. So there I am working remote mid-meeting with my boss. I share my screen so she can walk me through something. I decided it's the perfect time to light the blunt I just rolled. As she's walking me through some steps, I hear her loud and shockingly say my name. I threw the blunt across the room so fast. Thankfully, she's amazing. We both got a good laugh out of it, but at the time, I died. A few weeks ago, I needed to burp. So naturally, I even muted myself, burped loudly into the mic, and then muted myself. The lesson I learned from working in a call center because I watched someone else fuck this up is if you're gonna make a snarky comment, don't just assume you're muted. Make sure. Guy cut loose with a 2-minute-long rant at a customer when he thought he was muted. Turns out he wasn't. And his boss was listening to the call. So by the time the rant was finished, his boss was standing behind him and just said, "You're gonna apologize to that poor woman," profusely. And then you're gonna go the fuck home and look for another job.